I was getting divorced. I wasn't trying to burn the woman, so when she wanted a pass to try life, which was her way of saying she wanted to take her new breasts and see how big a man she could get with them, I went through the logical points. Then I went to see a lawyer and started the no-fault divorce proceedings. It was the perfect time. Sit back and listen to this extremely interesting story. Marriage counseling. Could anything be worse? Yes, the court ordered counseling. I spent 2 nights in jail for contempt before I finally agreed to this punishment. I mean treatment. I actually meant bullshit. I was getting divorced. I wasn't trying to burn the woman, not really. Nor was I open to reconciliation, not at any cost. Not even without any cost, because it would always cost me my self-respect. I just wanted out. I figured this was the perfect time for it. It all started like a bad story, my wife coming to me, needing to talk. By talk, she meant telling me her desires and expecting me to go along with it, whatever it was. We'd had many talks during our 3-year marriage, and I'd always gone along with whatever she wanted. Vacation trips to our in-laws, 2 weeks in purgatory for me each time they hated me and I them. But Melissa loved the fuss they made over her. A BMW when we should have been saving for a down payment on a house. Plastic surgery, in my opinion. The nose job was unnecessary, but I had thought the boob job could be fun. It wasn't. They felt great before, but never seemed quite right after. And she had lost sensitivity as well. And even at the start, a wedding that put us in debt for the first 2 years of our marriage. But I wanted her to be happy. I didn't like to say no, and I never saw the point in continuing to argue when all the logic you could give was rejected, almost always unfairly and without any justification. All you get at this point is anger and fireworks. In my opinion, it was not worth arguing then. So when she wanted a pass to try life, which was her way of saying she wanted to take her new breasts and see how big a man she could get with them, I went through the logical points. 1. There are no benefits for me, and there are only 2 outcomes. It's so good. Why would she want to go back to monogamy with me? Or B, she chose the wrong partner. It's not good, but there might be a right partner out there somewhere. She rolled her eyes and started to object, but I stopped her. 2. Disease could come into our marriage, and it could take months or even years to make sure that doesn't happen. Oh no, he's married and clean. I rolled my eyes. 3. Pregnancy can occur even with the best birth control efforts. Again, her eye roll accompanied by a shake of her head. 4. Divorce was now a done deal. You are not going to divorce me. We love each other. She immediately interjected. We were, but obviously not anymore. You already know who you want to sleep with. If you don't, then don't. But even if you don't, nothing I say will change your mind. I shook my head. It's also obvious that I'm not enough for you. And 5th, I think you're already seeing this clean married man. How dare you? She shouted. I shrugged and continued, but it doesn't matter anyway, because the real point #5 is that you have lost my trust. I will never be able to believe a single word you say. I got up and locked myself in our guest room, which I used as an office. I pulled out the couch and went to bed. When she realized I was not going to sleep, she came and knocked on the locked door. Melissa spoke softly through the door. Honey, if it upsets you so much, I'll forget about it. We love each other. That's what matters. You are more than enough for me. I didn't say anything, and after a few minutes she sighed and went to bed. The next day I came to work at the head office. Our big projects were nearing completion, and extra employees were to be laid off. This could have been a turning point in the construction industry. I was a permanent employee, a shift supervisor, so my boss was surprised when I told him that he should keep one of the people he was going to fire and fire me instead. I clarified that he should keep someone who had a loving wife for support. After I had explained the situation, he agreed to do as I asked, but told me if I ever wanted to come back to work, there would be a job for me whenever I wanted. I thanked him but begged him not to tell anyone else that. He laughed and agreed again. Then I went to see a lawyer and started the no-fault divorce proceedings. It was the Perfect time. Within a week, I'd be laid off, and Melissa would be the primary breadwinner in our marriage. I was willing to let go of the little savings we'd finally managed to start accumulating, but really didn't want to get stuck with any spousal support. I just wanted to walk away a free man. Melissa fought it, arguing that nothing had happened, that we loved each other, and that she wanted to save our marriage. I argued that Melissa had made it clear that I wasn't enough, that I didn't meet her needs, and I just wanted out while I was young enough to begin again with someone who loved me. Melissa broke down in tears, wailing in the courtroom. I think more to shut her up than any other reason, the judge ordered us into counseling. My strenuous objections and flat-out refusal to be involved in useless counseling was the reason for my 2 days of incarceration. I finally gave in. After being served bologna sandwiches for both lunch and dinner both days, so here we are in our third session. I'd gone but refused to contribute during the first 2 sessions, but at the beginning of the third, the counselor had spoken to the judge, and for me, it was either put up with this bologna or get used to eating bologna. The situation we should address is the perceived versus the actual. The counselor intoned as if he had done this 1,000 times and just wanted to get past it. Mike, Melissa has told me that she has never really considered having an affair. She just proposed this because she wanted you to fight for her. She felt that you had become complacent and were taking her for granted. She felt that you didn't value her. She says she realizes now how much her test has hurt your pride, and she's very sorry. Melissa jumped in. Really, honey, this is all about nothing. There's no one else. You're more than enough for me. I don't want anyone else. Please believe me. This was a new tact. It might have worked, although probably not, had she tried this route the night of the talk, or during the weeks before our divorce hearing, or during the first 2 sessions of counseling. How stupid would I be to believe her now? How stupid was she to think I would? Wow, I said, trying to look like I was really thinking about what she said. I nodded. I nodded to Melissa. I nodded to the clueless counselor, who beamed back at me. Wow, I repeated, if only I could believe everything a lying woman says, it might make a difference. I sighed and shook my head. No, I still want to leave, but it's okay, you can still go to your lover. Remember, he's married, but he's clean. My wife wiped her eyes and then said to the counselor, "You see, he doesn't appreciate me at all. He doesn't want to fight for me. You're right." I quietly agreed with her. A cheating wife has no value to me. How idiotic would it be to fight for something that's worthless? Melissa sobbed, but quickly wiped her eyes. Mike, there's something else. The bank called about my BMW payment. They said we're a couple months behind. You need to fix it. What? I don't have any money. Remember, I was laid off. I am living with my parents. My only income is unemployment insurance. I tried not to smile. In fact, if we don't settle this divorce soon, I'm going to have to amend it to ask for spousal support from you. I looked up. How much alimony do you think I should ask for? Melissa shrieked, then gathered her purse and coat and left the office. I looked at the counselor and asked, "So, are we finally done?" We were. Melissa signed the divorce papers. She got everything what little there was, and I got my freedom. Subscribe to our channel so that your second chaff doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think about listening to the next one.